Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey and let's talk about Power Girl. Yes, that's right. The next issue of Power Girl is out. I read it, and issue 16? Issue 16, DC All In, no fight like a snow fight. So of course, it picks up from Omen stroking out, and the doctors and nurses are telling Power Girl and them to get out of here. While Ejecta is sitting in the the waiting room, Power Girl attacks her, and Natasha was about to go after her, but Natasha got stopped by Tracy 13 and saying that no, we need to still be here for when Omen wakes up. Let Power Girl handle her. So Power Girl flies her all the way out to the Antarctica, to where the Fortress of Solitude is. And she was like, well, if you wanted to talk, if you wanted me all for yourself, you could have just asked. And she was like, no, I'm getting you out of the city and getting you away from Omen so I can fight you fully without any distractions. So Power Girl tosses her jacket. They start fighting, going at each other or whatever. And of course, it's just a whole page of a slug out. And she was saying that just going back and forth with Girl Banner, and she was basically saying like how she got her abilities or whatever, and it was all tied back to absolute power. Don't care for it. And then she was like, I just don't get you. And Ejecta starts molly whooping Power Girl, blasting her with random elements and stuff like that. And then because she has the equipment of Symbor, so they're fighting or whatever. And she was telling her like, look, I can save you. You've been groomed by Symbor or whatever. You're not in your right mind or whatever. And Ejecta starts laughing, and she was like, I am Daddy's little girl. And then they start continuing the fight. She gets the upper hand on Power Girl, and then we get a flashback of when she was a little girl or whatever, and how people was making fun of her for her looks or whatever, and how she told the kids that was making fun of her that she'll kill them one day. And basically is her beating up the children and them pulling her out wherever. And then it goes back to the present, and we see more fights between Power Girl, and she's basically trying to tell Power Girl that she doesn't need her help or whatever. She just wants to kill her. So then she turns her fist into kryptonite, beats the hell out of Power Girl. Power Girl uses her astral punch to get inside of the Fortress of Solitude or whatever, from being weakened by those, because she was able to create kryptonite from Power Girl's Earth to beat her or whatever. And Power Girl was able to pick up a rocket launcher thing and blast Ejecta, like completely destroy her suit of armor or whatever. And she was able to take the armor off of her arms and stuff like that and destroy it. And then she was like, tell Symbor that if you ever come back, then I'll defeat him just like I defeated you. And she was like, all of this was just about power, and power that you don't have. And she said, Ejecta's over here begging, trying to grab the armor or whatever because it gives her power or whatever. And Power Girl basically telling her that y'all come back, that the only reason why you live is because I willed it, not no one else, not anybody else. And the next time you come back, I'll kill you. And she was like, now tell that to your daddy. And Ejecta gets sent back to wherever the world is, Dorlin. And then, Symbor, he's worried about her, and he was like, no, my precious baby girl or whatever. And then she was like, Daddy, and He was like, don't worry, baby girl, I'll fix you up better than ever. And then you see a few days later, you see Omen is out of the hospital, and she was talking about how terrible the hospital food is. And then Karen was like, well, come on, Paige was like, come on, let's get out of here or whatever. Omen's like, ugh, I just hate all of this. And she was like, you want to fly? And then she was like, sure. She was like, you remember that building that Ejecta had? And she was like, well, surprise, I brought it for us. And she was like, for what? Because of its potential. There's so much room for activities. And she was like, really? She was like, well, we'll clean it and stuff like that. And then she was like, well, how are we going to afford it? She was like, well, it's plenty of space for roommates and stuff like that. And she was like, I guess we could use this as our new building or whatever. And she was like, but how are we going to pay for it? And she was like, well, about that. She was like, you're a millionaire? She was like, well, Karen Starr is a millionaire. And then she was like, wait, what? But she was like, Dr. Paige Stellar, she isn't a millionaire, but Karen Starr is. She was like, you had me paying this whole time? She was like, you never asked. And she was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And that's literally how this issue goes off, where Power Girl and Omen are flying while she's like, I can't believe that you've been rich this whole time. And she was like, well, I am, but not Paige Keller. So yeah, that was it. Honestly, okay, fine. At least they got some action going on. They defeated Ejecta. We'll see what's going on. Hopefully, Karen Starr come back. That's what we want anyway, because we're sick of Paige Keller. It didn't make any sense anyway for her to go undercover as Paige in the first place, because it was always dumb to begin with. That's just my personal opinion on the whole situation. But yeah, that was Power Girl 16. And I think 17 is where she gets her new costume, like I said. And hopefully she'll go back to Karen Starr. And maybe we'll get a new writer. We'll see. But those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.